Hello again, fellow infidels. Today I wanted to talk about a couple of things. First of all, I want to shout out a channel that I recently was introduced to by seeing some other channels that I'm subscribed to commenting on her video. Well, videos now. She's got two up. Her YouTube channel name is Nellybutt, and I'm going to have a link below to her channel and to her one video about her deconversion. Her first video is a little over 40 seconds long, but that's all she needed to make notorious YouTuber G-Man look like an absolute idiot. Then again, that's not really that hard to do. But still, kudos to her. That was her first foray into YouTube atheist video production. And her second video, as I said, is about her deconversion. Now, I'm not exactly sure how old she is, judging by the videos. She seems to be rather young, probably still living at home, which for her is a bit of a problem because she lives with her fundamentalist Christian family. So, knowing how lonely it can seem sometimes being an atheist in this country, particularly when your family members are that religious, I encourage any and all of my viewers to go check her channel out, watch her videos, and post encouraging comments, because people in that position, well, they could always use a little bit of encouragement. Second of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about science fiction. Taking a look at Star Trek, science fiction has always been pretty good at predicting the future, if you will. Just look at some of the technologies in Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation, and we've pretty much got them now. You know, Bluetooth headsets, cell phones, iPads, all of that stuff. They were all presented in Star Trek in one form or another, and now we have them. So, I like to look at that kind of stuff as foreshadowing, showing humanity what could be possible in the future. Well, recently, I picked up a book. It's one of the books in the Mass Effect series. Big fan of the game series, and I figured I'd check the novels out as well. And this is the first one that was written in that series. It's a prequel to the games. And there was a part in there I found pretty interesting. It was talking about the reaction of the religious on Earth after the discovery of alien technology. Just indisputable proof that humanity wasn't alone in the universe. And it talks about how shortly after the discovery, new faiths were pushed up almost overnight. People believing that human evolution was guided by these aliens in some way. Some other people in currently existing faiths rapidly went back and rewrote their rules and their history, saying, no, we didn't claim we were the only ones in history. They had to basically retcon their entire faith to make it compatible with this newfound knowledge. And then, of course, there were still people nearly a decade later, according to the book anyway, that were clinging to their original faith and just completely denying that the technology really existed. I mean, they had massive leaps and bounds in their technological advancement thanks to this discovery in this book. You know, they were traveling outside of their own solar system thanks to what was discovered. And they still had people on Earth denying that it ever happened. And I get the feeling that if, hypothetically, humanity actually discovered indisputable proof that we are not alone in the universe, that's exactly how it would go down. You'd have new religions springing up. You'd have old religions rewriting the rules. And then you'd have people just denying that it even was real. You know, I realize some of you may think it's a bit of a stretch to think that someone, when presented with absolutely indisputable proof, would still somehow deny it. But we've got people like Nephilim Free saying that he's a geocentrist. There's still people out there that believe that. There's still flat earthers. My personal belief on that is that anybody who calls themselves a flat earther or a geocentrist, they don't really believe what they're saying. I get the strong feeling that they don't. I think that they just tell themselves that they believe because they're scared of the consequences of saying otherwise. They're so brainwashed and indoctrinated into thinking that what they've been taught ever since they were a little kid is the indisputable truth, and that any disagreement is going to be met with harsh, eternal punishment. That's the only reason, that's the only explanation I can come up with to explain why they cling to these outdated, obviously false ideas. And that's exactly why I continue to fight. You see, people like that are a danger to society. They're a danger to our future as a species. People like that, the climate change denialists, the creationists, they do more damage, and on a more regular basis, to society as a whole than the Taliban could ever dream of doing. Because the Taliban had one successful, massive attack on the United States, and we've been at war with them for quite some time. It's drained our money, our resources. Lots of people have been killed. And I'm not saying that they aren't responsible for that. I'm not saying that their impact on society is any less horrible because of people like Rush Limbaugh. But what I am saying is that the people that perpetuate these fallacies, these outright lies about global warming and evolution, saying that they aren't real, these people are potentially destroying our future on this planet. And we don't have the technology or the resources to get off of this rock anytime soon. So, while we continue to work on that, I think the best thing we can possibly do is to continue the fight against ignorance and misinformation. So, until next time, fellow infidels, keep thinking critically.